Hello and welcome to CVR News Network. You're watching CVR English and welcome to World 360 and I'm Sandeep. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has said on Wednesday that any escalation by India would be met very strongly as tensions rise between the nuclear-armed neighbors following a deadly attack in Kashmir. Earlier in the day, Islamabad said it had credible intelligence that India was preparing for military action. In a statement, it condemned terrorism in all forms and vowed to respond assuredly and decisively to any Indian move.
Thank you for joining us this evening at a very short notice. Developments in our region for the last few days since 22nd of April. We are obviously, as we speak, the entire. Let me start by Pakistan will not be the first one to resort to any escalatory move. However, in case of any escalatory move by the Indian side, we will respond very strongly. We are concerned over the loss of lives during the Pahalgam attack. Pakistan has nothing to do with Pahalgam incident, period. We demand an independent and transparent probe by neutral investigators as announced by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif. Focusing on its internal problems instead of. It is unfortunate that India continues to weaponize unsubstantiated accusations and allegations as part of its disinformation strategy for narrow political ends. Focusing on its internal problems.
The head of the Pakistan administrated region of Kashmir called for the international mediation and said that his administration was preparing a humanitarian response in the case of any further escalation between nuclear-armed India and Pakistan. Pakistan's government has said that it has credible intelligence that India intends to launch military action soon after the days of escalating tensions following a deadly attack in Pahalgam. India blamed Pakistan for the April 22nd attack and Islamabad has denied it.
We managed to have no losses, casualties and all that. Just make further that point that there's a lot of activities going on and anything could happen. So we are getting ready and prepared for it anyway. And these few days are, as I said, are very important. We expect some mediation at this time from some friendly countries, and we hope that that mediation must take place, otherwise India would do anything at this time. Yeah, that I know personally about it.
I see.
And like we have the Red Crescent, they are working on it, and then of course we are working for displaced people and like those things, and affected areas. I think this is the right time for the internationally as a whole, and UN Secretary General to play a part, to play some mediating role on Kashmir as well, because as it's for so many long time, and people of our Kashmir had suffered a lot. We managed to have no losses, casualties and all that. I just make further that point that India has there are a lot of activities going on and anything could happen. So we are getting ready and prepared for it anyway. And these few days are, as I said, are very important.
India has intensified its crackdown on Pakistani digital presence. Instagram accounts of popular Pakistani actors like Mahira Khan, Hania Amer, Sajal Ali and Ali Zafar are now inaccessible in India under legal orders. This move is part of a broader policy banning Pakistani artists and media from Indian platforms, including the film industry. While accounts of the mainstream stars remain accessible, others are now blocked for Indian users. India had earlier banned Pakistani YouTube channels, including that of Shahid Afridi, for spreading anti-India propaganda. Major Pakistani news outlets like Geo News, Ari News, and Samar TV also remain blocked. President Donald Trump on Wednesday asked for a little bit of time on the face of the first quarter of U.S. economic contraction and tariffs that have been taken a bite out of his popularity, saying a resurgence was around the corner. The U.S. Commerce Department's advanced gross domestic product data on Wednesday pointed to the first quarterly decline in 3 years as businesses imported a flood of goods to avoid higher costs from Trump's spending tariffs. Some economists pointed to robust consumer spending and a private investment as a sign that growth could soon rebound.
In the first quarter GDP numbers just out today, core GDP, now we're removing distortions from imports, inventories, and government spending, was up plus 3%, but this is Biden's economy because we took over on January 20th, and I think you have to get us a little bit of time to get moving, but this is the Biden economy. But we still had and we've had a lot of things happen since November 5th that helped this economy. We have some great people, great senators. Marcia, where are you? Where are you, Martha? But we've terminated the Green New scam. It was a scam, and halted tens of billions of dollars of money, wasteful deficit spending. It was like throwing money right out the window. And in the coming weeks, we'll pass the largest tax cuts in American history. And I think even more so, we'll be doing things for business like you've never seen before. You saw it in a little smaller version at the beginning of our last term. You know, we had the most successful 4 years that any president has ever had. We're thrilled to welcome to the White House dozens of the world. Mortgage rates are actually down slightly, even though I have a guy in the Fed that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's all right. These are minor details. Don't tell him I said that, please. As the cameras rock and roll back there. No, I mean, he should reduce interest rates. I think I understand interest a lot better than him, because I've had to really use interest rates. But we should have interest rates go down. It would be positive, but it's not going to matter that much, because ultimately what we're creating has much more to do with other things than it does just pure interest rates. But it would be nice for people wanting to buy homes and things. I would say if you looked at the last administration, probably for 4 years they did. So I'd like to introduce some of you, President and CEO of Hyundai, Jose Munoz. Jose, thank you very much. Fantastic. Jose is investing $21 billion, including $5.8 billion for a new steel plant in Louisiana, which is a beauty. I saw a picture of it, which is going to create at least 1,500 jobs, just the plant alone. Thank you very much, Jose. Beautiful. Chairman and CEO of Global Shipping Giant CMA, CGM, Rudolph Sade. Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Investing $20 billion in creating 10,000 new jobs at least. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. You'll be very happy. President and CEO of Toyota North America, Ted Ogawa, investing $88 billion. Where's Ted? That's fantastic. Thank you, Ted. That's fantastic. Ted's investing $88 million for car production at its West Virginia factory, which is a beauty. I've seen it, actually. Congratulations. Thank you very much for being here, Ted. I told Jensen, I told Tim, thank you, everybody. In the first quarter GDP numbers just out today, core GDP, now we're removing distortions from imports, inventories, and government spending, was up plus 3%. But this is Biden's economy because we took over on January 20th. And I think you have to get us a little bit of time to get moving, but this is the Biden economy. But we still had and we've had a lot of things happen since November 5th that helped this economy. We have some great people, great senators. Marcia, where are you? Where are you, Marcia? But we've terminated the Green New scam. It was a scam, and halted tens of.
On April 30th, brave families gathered in Jerusalem for the annual memorial for the victims of militant attacks. During the ceremony, protests erupted as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to continue fighting Hamas and work towards bringing home all Israeli hostages from Gaza. Netanyahu reaffirmed Israel's commitment to protecting its citizens and eradicating Hamas.
כך נאמר במקורותינו שרוצות להכחידנו. באותו יום, שמחת תורה, 7 באוקטובר, חיי. ולכן אני אומר בשם יקירנו, איננו מרפים מן המשימה הקדושה להחזיר את כל חטופינו הביתה. גם הטבח הנורא ביישובי הדרום, נפתח פרק חדש במאבק המתמשך שלנו נגד מפלצות הטרור. איננו מרפים מן המשימה הקדושה להחזיר את כל חטופינו הביתה גם בשעות אלה. אנחנו נוסיף להילחם כדי להשמיד את החמאס ונמשיך לפעול בכל דרך להשיב את כלל החטופים והחטופות, החיים והחללים כאחד. איננו מרפים מן המשימה הקדושה להחזיר את כל חטופינו הביתה. אני אומר בשם יקירנו, נוסיף חיים. לפני למעלה משנה וחצי, ביום הטבח הנורא ביישובי הדרום, נפתח
Families of the hostages delivered a statement on Wednesday, the eve of Israel's Independence Day, calling for a release of hostages held in Gaza. President Trump to please don't forget us, don't abandon us. You did the first part of the deal. 30 living hostages were released. Please continue to the second part, said Yehuda Cohen, father of Nimrod Cohen, who is still held in Gaza captivity. Israelis were seen carrying posters of hostages and chanting "No Independence Day without the hostage."
אחת, שתיים. שומעים Again, calling President Trump to please don't forget us. Don't abandon us. You did the first part of the deal. 30 living hostages were released. Please continue to the second part. Please force our government, our Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, to get to the second part of the deal to release all the hostages. Push him, press him to get to a hostage deal that will only come with a ceasefire.
להחזיר את כולם הביתה, דווקא ביום הזה, דווקא במזג אוויר הזה. אין עצמאות בלי החטופים. ברגע הדרמטי הזה, אין עצמאות בלי החטופים.
We need that. The hostages need that. The families need that. Our country needs that. Our region needs that. This will be the first step to reconstruct all this region. Please help us.
As we celebrate independence, we must ask, what does freedom really mean? The answer begins with the release of all hostages. This is not just a political demand, it is a moral duty. To our friends around the world, thank you. Your voices matter. Your support shows that the fight for justice is shared by all humanity. The release of all hostages is the key for healing, both for the people of Israel and for the civilians in Gaza.
אחת, שתיים. שומעים Again, calling President Trump to please.
Massive wildfires erupted near Jerusalem on April 38, triggering a national emergency as flames spread through the Judean mountains. Over 3,000 acres have burned so far, forcing evacuations in multiple towns and shutting down key highways linking Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. At least 13 people were hospitalized for smoke inhalation. The blaze disrupted National Memorial Day events and cancelled Independence Day celebrations. The Israeli Defense Forces, along with international aircraft from Italy to Croatia, are battling to contain the fire. Authorities suspect arson, with one suspect arrested. Prime Minister Netanyahu warned the Jerusalem city could be threatened if conditions worsen.
חם פה אחי. חם פה, אחי.
Cardinals from across the world attended a morning mass at St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday, which was held in memory of the late Pope Francis. Cardinal Leonardo Sandri presided over the service, which took place on the fifth day of the Novena Delay, which is the 9 days of mourning after the Pope's funeral. The Cardinals have descended on Rome ahead of the conclave, which will begin on May 7th and take place in the Sistine Chapel. Some 135 cardinals under the age of 80 are eligible to take part in the vote for the next head of the 1.4 billion member church, which is beset by concerns over its finances and divisions over doctrine.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Però ciascuno di noi, venerabili fratelli, porta
nel quinto dia del novenario
is the successor of Peter,
come in quegli
as in those spaces
di
of
collegamento che
connection,
sono gli uffici
such
della
as the
segreteria di
offices
Stato.
of. Now we take a few moments to reflect on the homily of Cardinal Sandri and indicating how Pope Francis sought
esta
to do
Santa
that.
Misa en el
Omnes hoc estenim corpus meum detur.
El cardenal Sante, junto a los concelebrados.
Ipse nos tibi perficiat munus aeternum, ut cum electis tuis hereditatem consequi valeamus, in primis con beatissimo
de paz,
share a gesture of peace with them
a todos
and
aquellos
unite
que nos
with the
están
Cardinal Communion. The ministers at the altar have just received Holy Communion. The Sister Chapel with us in the Communion antiphon. Out of the depths I cried unto the
French President Emmanuel Macron welcomes Germany's outgoing Chancellor Olaf Scholz to Elysee Palace. The meeting underscored the enduring strength of the Franco-German partnership and provided an opportunity to reflect on Scholz's tenure and collaborative efforts between the two nations. While specific details of their discussions have not been publicly disclosed, the meeting symbolized a commitment to continued cooperation and a shared vision for the Europe's future. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has recently provided significant updates on her office operations, focusing on national security and intelligence reforms. In a recent meeting, she revealed that approximately 700 individuals identified as alien terrorists had been apprehended, emphasizing the importance of border security and counter-terrorism efforts. Additionally, Gabbard announced the deportation of over 400 illegal immigrants who had entered the United States through ISIS networks, highlighting her commitment to addressing national security threats at the southern border.
Leadership and delivering the mandate the American people gave you. You've empowered all of us to deliver that mandate, and I'm grateful to have the privilege of leading the intelligence community towards ending the weaponization, politicization of the intelligence community that's gone on for far too long, and building out what is truly a lean and agile and effective intelligence community that is helping you deliver that promise to the American people of safety, security, and freedom. So, Mr. President, I'd like to highlight just 3 of the areas where we are helping to support your leadership and your work in making America safe again and bringing about these changes. First of all, because of your designation of cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, I took immediate action with our National Counterterrorism Center to prioritize their focus on those terrorists and gang members who are trying to enter our country through legal or illegal means, and to seek out those who already are here in our country because of the Biden administration's 4 years of open borders. We've been working very closely with your great Attorney General's team at the DEA to get these known cartels into our systems, to be able to stop them at the border, and turning over names to Department of Homeland Security and the FBI to be able to find those who are already here in our country. Just the other day, we found 700 alien terrorists who have...
That's the end of the bulletin. Keep watching CVR News English.